Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Jennifer. Here we talk about everything. What we're going to talk about right now is relationships. The go to and the get away. And what we need to talk about, more importantly, is if you aren't feeling it with somebody anymore, then you should probably let that person go. If you're feeling it for somebody, you should probably let them know. If a person doesn't feel the same way about you, I know I sound like a broken record right now, but like there's a lot of relationships shifting right now. There's a lot of people holding on to people that the relationship is over. There's a lot of people holding on to people that they feel like they're out of touch with, that they want to get in touch with, but they feel like things are holding them back. And it's all based on people not following through and doing exactly what it is that they want to do, afraid that they're hurting somebody else or afraid of themselves. Afraid. It's all fear based and people pleasing more than anything. A lot of people, and I know as much as I am adamant about having a monogamous relationship, some people just aren't built that way. 133. And so it takes a special partner to have a person like that. Some people really aren't built to be monogamous. Just like some people aren't built to be heterosexual. They're just not built that way. And you have to accept that about them. That doesn't mean that you can't love them. It means that if you're not built the way that they're built to accept how they are, then you should probably find other people to hang out with. You don't need to degrade people in order to feel better about yourself. I don't like talking bad about people. I don't like pointing out that you have shit that you have to work on. But I do like having that mouth that is capable of doing that, because 80% of the time I can get through to people and they shift whatever it is that has them feeling bad about themselves. It's not just something I'm pointing out saying that's bad about you. It's something that they don't feel good about themselves. And so when I point it out, it makes it even worse on them, because it's like, how dare you tell me what's wrong with me? I already know what's wrong with me. I don't need you to tell me what's wrong with me. But you did. Because the more I tell you, the more you get mad about it, and then eventually do something about it. Later on, thanking me underneath your breath, going, God damn it, I wish that bitch wasn't right, but she was. Fuck, damn it, son of a bitch. Will you be my friend? I love you from a distance, and if I see something else, I'll point it out to you again, and we'll go through this all over again. 322. Because that's why I am here, to help you soothe and find a valuable you. Regardless of how things are working out in the past and present, if I am a part of your life, more than likely, you're being asked to shift something to a more positive alignment. Which is cool. I like that part about myself. I found something I like about myself. Wow. You know, we all have that issue. It's even harder when you're trying to be with somebody. So it's like you pick and pick and pick and pick and pick at yourself while you're trying to make sure that that person that you're picking on is good enough for you as well. In the end, love is the only thing that matters, because throughout the relationship, you're going to go through struggles. You're going to go through highs and you're going to go through lows. It's a matter of how you deal with them when you're around each other as to whether or not the relationship grows. No amount of money is going to guarantee a relationship. No amount of education is going to guarantee a relationship. No spouse are going to guarantee a relationship. No isolation or beating somebody is going to do that either. You can't control somebody. If they want to love you, they're going to love you. If they love you, they're going to love you. If they don't, they don't. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or a good person or chosen or not chosen or fit for a big position or not for a big position. And it doesn't even matter that people know or they don't know. Now, for me personally, I have issues with people 522 not wanting to, they want to spend time with me, but they don't want anybody to know they're spending time with me. And that's something that I'm learning how to manage, because in my perception, if you don't want people to know that you're hanging out with me, that means that you're ashamed of who I am and what I'm doing. But I have to look at it from other points of view as well, because not always is somebody hiding you because of something negative. It could be simply because they don't want any trouble. And trouble can happen in the most innocent of relationships. Do understand that. So using discernment is necessary. But in no way force somebody to be in something they don't want to be in. Be a part of somebody's world that you shouldn't be a part of. Or feel like doing something negative to someone is going to get them to love you any more or less. Actually, to me, the more negative that you do, the less likely I want to be around you. I'm just not. I love everybody, but that doesn't mean that I have to hang out with you. And if you do things that I don't agree with, I'm not going to hang out with you. Like, if you're going around hurting people or stealing or whatever, I don't want to be around all that shit. Like, that's just not who I am. That's not what I want to be a part of. And that's why it aggravates me so much when it comes to people taking my stuff and putting their name on it. And then, first of all, they don't even get the whole message. They just get parts of the message. So whoever they're trying to talk to and be like me about, those people aren't even getting the full message. They're getting a part of the message. They're not even getting the whole message. So they're going off on a tangent of what that person is giving them, which is false evidence. And shit gets twisted. And that's the one thing that you need to understand, for those of you who like to steal God's messages from people. I'm not the only one getting stolen from, and it is theft. When you're sitting in somebody's house you're not supposed to be, and you're taking their stuff, that's theft. When you are blocking somebody's channel for movement, but you're taking the stuff that they're saying and you're using it for your own purposes, that's theft. My channel isn't the only one who goes through this, and YouTube isn't the only thing that I have to deal with it on, and more people deal with the same thing. It's actually pretty fucking stupid if you ask me, because in most cases it's a bunch of rich ass motherfuckers trying to keep poor people poor. I know it's the wrong thing to say, but really, like, why the fuck do you want to keep people poor? Don't you understand the concept of more is more? I mean, like, I saw somebody put this thing on there going Dumb and Dumber, and I was like, you are so absolutely fucking right. And then I watched this thing about dude, his managers told him not to do that movie. He ended up, Dumb and Dumber ended up doing 3 sequels. Now, I'm going to say none of them were as good as the first one. I've seen every one of them. None of them were as good as the first one. And he made a good chunk on that. And then I think it was the dude from Full House. So, like, he's had a pretty successful career, and it didn't ruin his career. Like, he was able to do the Full House dude. I think he was actually the funniest dude of them all anyway, on Full House. But, yeah, I watched him on Full House. Like, I grew up watching Full House. Anyway, well, just like any 80s family, at 6 o'clock, you eat dinner. At 7 o'clock, the shows come on. At 9 o'clock, you get ready for bed, and at 10 o'clock, you're in the bed and the lights are out. That's how that's supposed to work. That was how it worked in the 80s for us. I mean, granted, I had shit that went on. My grandparents' house was not wreckful. That's why I don't understand some of the shit that happened in my life. But we're not talking about my life. 1023. We're talking about relationships. And how being yourself, being true to what you want, being true to your desires is the only way, 1045, that you are actually going to be able to have full-fledged relationships with people. You're forcing somebody to be a part of your life isn't going to get you what you desire, because they're not going to want to be there. They're not going to give you their full 100% attention. Their mind, their space, their heart, their everything is going to be focused on what they really want. And if that doesn't happen to be you, everybody's hurting. Not just you. It's that person and whoever it is that they're truly wanting to be with. Because if they're truly wanting to be with somebody else, that other person might truly want to be with them too. You don't know for sure. But what you do know is the person, if they're treating you incorrectly, they don't want to be with you. And you have to accept that. If they're treating you correctly, but they still are interested in somebody else, you have to respect that. You can't, you have to respect that. You just have to respect that they want somebody different that fits them better. There's something, you may not feel like them going to somebody else is good. You may feel like you're the better match. And you may be the better match for them. But it's not up to you to decide, 1213. It's up to you to decide to accept their love if they offer it or reject it. But if they don't offer you love, then they don't offer you love. It's not something you can't stop. I really am not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm trying to give you some advice. Maybe 1237, it's unsolicited advice, but if you're coming to my channel, this is solicited advice. Don't go after somebody who doesn't want you. Don't buy spells and cast fucking demons and do trick and trade bullshit 1255 on motherfuckers if they're not interested. It's not going to do any good for anybody in the situation, except that if you fuck with somebody's free will, 1307, God gives the devil permission to fuck with yours. See, God doesn't fuck with people's free will. However, that fallen angel son of his will. And all he's got to do is say, listen, I need you to poke that motherfucker and show them you can't fuck with people's hearts like that, man. Listen. And it's for real. Like, we're learning so much about our systems right now, about our bodies, about our abilities, about our energies. And the more appropriated we are to each other, the higher our abilities become. The sad fact is the people that have access to allowing a higher vibration are so worried about getting power from other places. 1409. They have totally overlooked that one phrase that is in every context of our being, that all things are of God. If you want abundance, you must ask for it from God. Like, it's all through the Bible. It's all through works. It's all through history. Proof that, like, you're not going to get the abundance that you're looking for. 1444. Fighting with people. Hating on people. Ruining historical artifacts. You're not going to get a positive outcome. Being an ass. Period. You want positive, you have to be positive. I am appalled right now at the fact that one of the holiest places in the entire world that we have outside of Egypt is being scorned right now, and the people in it are just rude and fucked up, dude. Like, God really fucking sat down here and ate with y'all, and this is how you behave? Wow. Maybe I should rethink sitting with God for a minute? 1552. And then I'm like, no, these people just, I don't know how to explain that. That's just beyond me. I'm just like, y'all think you are God. Y'all think that God is just, that's my babies, go ahead. Blah, blah. All this war, don't you think maybe God might be up there just crying and dying? My God. As a mother myself, seeing my kids in pain, my God, dude, like what? Babies falling over of addiction and guns and violence, and where's the happiness? Because there's plenty to be had in this motherfucker. If people quit trying to get power that doesn't belong to them. Nobody on this earth is more important than anybody else. That will never change. It doesn't matter when God gets here, what part of the revelation we're in, or whatever you want to call it, the wars, or whatever. No matter the shift, no matter what, it's never going to shift. 1718. It's never going to shift to what you think. That one person is going to be more important and valuable to everybody than anybody else. We're all here for a goddamn reason, and that's to live. Period. Most important things in life are free. And yet we spend our entire lives believing that we don't have it. Spending everything we have trying to get it. Not realizing till after we're gone and it's too late to notice that we had it the whole time we were born with it. It was free and attainable. At any moment in time, we decided to drive ourselves farther and farther and farther enough into a dream we were seeing to obtain that goal. Now, the fight's expensive. It is. Fights are very expensive. Change is costly. Love it's everlasting. It never runs out. Maybe that's why God uses that as a form of payment. 1858. When it comes to our protection with Him, our caring, the ability to have food, the ability to have a roof over our head. And for many are out here, you're suffering through so much right now. And you're praying towards the wrong people to get the help. For many of you, you're about to be pissed off as a motherfucker at me, and I'm okay with that. Because I've been there myself. And I had to learn from my mistakes as well. And I'm going to point something out to you. Did you know that addiction is the most expensive habit that anyone can ever have? those cigarettes, the booze, the drugs, all of those things added up together, 2014, could, in fact, each month, if you put that money to the side and you only did one at a time, cigarettes, for starters. When I quit smoking, it was almost $80 for a carton of cigarettes. I think. Maybe it was $40. And I was buying 2. I don't remember. I haven't smoked cigarettes in 5 years. So if that gives you a little bit of the price, $21.11. And when I was smoking cigarettes were $6 a pack. Up here in Detroit, cigarettes are $9 a pack. Oh my God, there's no way I could smoke weed and smoke cigarettes. There's no way. There's no way I could have both habits. I would be no, because I smoke a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. Sometimes 2 packs of cigarettes a day. That's $16 a day. Plus I smoke 4 or 5 joints a day. That's $30-$40 a day. Give or take. That's $40 a day. Just right there. Cigarettes and tobacco, cigarettes and weed, that doesn't include the food. There's another $20. $60. And I said 4 or 5 joints, right? So we're looking $40. So 40, 60, 80. That's almost $100 a day to eat, drink, and be merry. 2241. I'm not going to give away some of my secrets. I'm able to budget myself to a lot cheaper than that these days, but I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't drink alcohol. Now, there was a time where it was very easy for me to put down a fifth. A fifth of Jack or a fifth of Evan. Those were my boys right there. Every once in a while I did gym, and sometimes I'd crown myself, but I was more... My younger days, I was a tequila girl. 2 Fingers Tequila and Rosa Tequila were my favorites. And it took 1 to 2 of those before I popped into the bar. And I didn't really drink much after I got into the bar. I was a dancer, so I danced. That's why I went to the bars. I danced all the time. That was my thing. I didn't give a fuck about the guys. I didn't give a fuck about the girls. I didn't give a fuck about the drinking. I wanted the music and the dancing. That's it. Anyway, I mean, I did, but I didn't. You know, understand what I'm saying? Back to reality. I am not going to promise, and I'm not going to guarantee, but I'm going to tell you that in my personal life and what I've seen through other people's lives, shifting what you spend your time and money on does make a difference in your relationships as well. If you're not out here getting fucked up, you're not fighting an addiction, and you're not scrambling around for a pack of cigarettes, you're not angry, and hateful and having a dysentery mouth. We all have issues in our life. We're all going to have ups and downs. But addictions do make a difference. They can make or break a relationship and a lifestyle and a life. So if you are dealing with somebody that in this moment they might have an addiction that you don't know about, or an addiction that you know about, and it's somebody that you know you want to be with and you know that they want to be with you, work on that addiction. If it's somebody that you know you guys aren't truly compatible, then find a compromise and let each other go. Do it in a way that is peaceful. There is a such thing as being able to friendly your exes. Meaning, there are people that talk to each other that have dated years previous, and there's no sexual frustration, there's no ill manners towards each other. It didn't work out. Okay, let's move on. They find somebody else, you find somebody else, and you might even invite each other to each other's weddings. 2636. I've always got this thing. Somebody's got this personal joke with me, always a bridesmaid, because the guys that I end up with, they always marry the next girl after me. It's always been a thing for me. They always marry the girl after me. I don't know. But anyway, I guess that's who I'm supposed to be. One of these days, somebody's gonna want to change their ass for me. But until then, at least other motherfuckers are getting their happy forever afters. I guess. But anyway, I can tell you in my personal experience, right now in this moment, if I would have chose to stay intoxicated, I probably wouldn't be here right now. It took me a couple times to learn how to deal with things. But when I learned, I'll never go back to dealing with my issues by drinking or drugging. I'm learning not to even get mad now or react to people. That's my next goal. That's what I'm working on now. Is my reaction and my action, because, and I don't know where this come from, but I heard it from somewhere, and it says your karma is not your karma is not how somebody treats you, it's how you react to how somebody treats you. So if your karma is how you treat somebody who treats you dirty, then be proud of being that person who gives them advice on how to be a better person. Be proud of being that person that says, I understand you're going through some hardships right now. I am too, man. Let's work it out. Anger does not have to be something that stays around. You don't have to go through hardships to get to the prize. That's another lie we've been told for years and years and years to cover up the bullshit that we've dealt with and put up with instead of standing up for ourselves. Don't ever let anybody make you believe that you have to put up with somebody's shit to get where you're trying to go. There's always another route. and God will help you out. I'm not saying that you're supposed to have an easy road, because your road isn't supposed to be easy. 3006. It's just not supposed to be degrading or disrespectful. You're not supposed to be getting abused and putting up with it. You're supposed to be embracing life and showing off God'sness in you. It's an amazing thing when I was traveling, people would say, I see God in you, I see God in you, I see God in you, I see God in you. It's the most amazing feeling when people look at you and they're talking to you and they're like, I can feel God talking through you. I can hear God coming from you. There's a special in that. You're not going to get it by being a mean person or forcing somebody to be in something they don't want to be in. You're not going to get it by bad-mouthing motherfuckers instead of finding justice for motherfuckers. You're not going to get it being a mean person. It doesn't mean that God doesn't love you. It means he doesn't want people to know that side of him, because it's not a side that anybody is proud of. Nobody's proud of being mean. That's why they hide it. Nobody's proud to be hateful. That's why they get more mad at themselves when they're like that than they do the person they're hateful to. Nobody likes being a dick. 3200. It's a form of defense, offense, protective shield that needs to disappear, because if we all take the time to heal, and I know in a real world that most people won't, but those who get the message might take the time to deal with that shadow self. Accept the good, the bad, the ugly, the bold, the beautiful, and the things unknown. God is here for every one of us. Nobody ever is going to be the most special. And the sooner that people realize this, the faster the fighting can stop. I showed you guys these apps, 3307, not too long ago, or this morning actually, I think. The Buy Nothing movement that they've got going on right now, get on that. There's a Buy Nothing app and there's a Free Cycle app. Get on those. There's not very many people, like in California they're doing it, but you don't see it elsewhere. Like, get on it and trade out. Build relationships in that way as well. It doesn't have to be a mean world. We've just been taught to believe that it was. It's time to unlearn those things and begin utilizing the love that we've been given, that is bountiful, never running out, to shift the world into what we want it to be. It's going to take more than those who are in the spirit realm to catch on to this. Like the people of the nations are going to need to catch on to this. 3424. We are your messengers. We cannot hold the weight of the world on our own. We're not the only ones who live here. It wouldn't be fair. And we have a life to live too, that we want to live. 3441. That as well. So let's be fair. Cut out all the bullshit. Like, for real, dude. Cut out all the bullshit. Find people that are compatible with you. And if they're not compatible with you, they're not compatible with you. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with them or there's something wrong with you. But if you see something that can improve somebody's life, don't be afraid to say something, no matter who they are. They may need you to be that person who says something. Because if you don't say something, somebody else might not say something, and you could be that one that saves their life, changes their perception, and moves them into a God creation. Don't you want to be remembered like that? Doesn't everybody want to be remembered as a God-given gift?